I think this is great news. I love it. I think it's awesome. And yeah. So I found out that Tunisia has hundreds of activists that have boarded a bus to go to Gaza and they want to break the blockade. And I was just like, hell yeah. Especially after, Greta and other activists on the Freedom Flotilla were just, basically kidnapped by Israel when they were trying to deliver humanitarian aid to people in Gaza. To see this activity, this uprising come from Tunisia, it was just like, whoa, like this is a slap in the face to Israel, because it's like, yeah, we see that you kidnapped the people on the Madeline. So now it's our turn to come. And I just gotta say, for people who thought it was performative, I would say that the activists on the Freedom Flotilla actually accomplished part of that mission, because part of that mission was to inspire other people to help, to inspire other people to get out there and try to help the people in Gaza. Now, we'll start with this because Greta, again, was kidnapped as well. And she was interviewed recently. And I want you to hear what she said. We're going to start with this because, again, this leads into the activists from Tunisia doing the damn thing. So listen to what Greta said after they sent her back. Listen to this.
Berg is speaking to reporters. Let's take a listen to what she has to say.
On international waters, we were illegally attacked and kidnapped by Israel and taken against our will to Israel, where we were detained. And then some of us deported, some are still there. There are very big uncertainties because it was quite chaotic and uncertain. So I don't really know what's going on. I haven't had a phone for many days.
What were the conditions for you over the last few hours?
They were absolutely nothing compared to what people are going through in Palestine, especially Gaza right now. And this is yet another international a violation of international rights, adding to the list of countless of such, especially towards Palestinians, that Israel are committing by blocking and preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza. That is illegal.
How did the Israelis treat you?
Let's pause here for just a second. I love the fact that she called it Palestine. And I love the fact that she said, yes, they kidnapped us, but what we went through was nothing compared to what people have to go through, what they're going through in Gaza. And it's right. She brought it right back to the cause, right back to the mission at hand. And I think that's so incredibly important. And I noticed Piers Morgan was upset about this, about her participating in the Freedom, Flotilla, and said that, oh, it's all performative. You just want, views or you just want to be seen or whatever. Shut the hell up, Piers. Shut the hell up. Because here's the thing. Since October 8th of 2023, you didn't want to admit that Israel was committing a genocide, that they were trying to kill all the women and the children, etc. Since then, you were asking everybody if they condemned Hamas. So you just decided that it was convenient for you to admit that Israel's trying to kill all of the people in Gaza like a year and a half late, bruh. So I don't really feel like you have room to criticize people who are trying to get out there and do something. Now, they went out there. Israel illegally got onto their boat, sprayed chemicals on their boat, kidnapped them. Yeah, so it shows again that Israel is an asshole. That what Israel is doing, they're constantly violating international law. But at the same time, it did what she wanted to have, what they wanted to happen, which was to inspire, encourage other people to get out there. So that was accomplished. So shut up, Piers. Let's go on a little bit more here.
We saw them in out sandwiches on their social media? How did
Yeah, they probably have posted lots of PR stunt videos. As I said, I have not seen anything, but they did an illegal act by kidnapping us on international waters and against our will, bringing us to Israel, keeping us in the bottom of the boat, not letting us getting out, and so on. But that is not the real story here. The real story is that there is a genocide going on in Gaza and a systematic starvation following the siege and blockade now, which is leading to food, medicine, water that are desperately needed to get into Gaza is prevented from doing so. But of course, there are many attempts like this mission, both by sea and land, to break that siege and open up a humanitarian corridor.
Could I ask you, did you have, you said you had no contact at all with any of your other colleagues from the boat when you were detained? Is that what you said?
No, that's not what I said. I was just mainly speaking. I don't really know what's going on because
You don't know what's going on with the others?
Are you worried
No,
about?
I wasn't.
So I'm going to tell you what's happening with the others. Last I checked, I think there's 8 people who are still detained. So they let some of them go, but 8 of them are still there. Also, they tried to force them to watch that video. You guys know that October 7th video, the propaganda, by the way, that they have not shown to the world, but they just want to show to people in like these little secret private rooms or whatever. Okay, whatever. That video, that they tried to get them to watch that, and they were just like, no, we're not watching this bullshit. Apparently, the IDF wasn't too fond of that they didn't want to watch it. Like, they're not going to buy into your
Able to say goodbye.
Are you worried about the others that they might be detained for?
Yeah, I'm very worried about them. We heard many different messages towards that they would not make it easy. And there were troubles with being able to see lawyers. So I'm very much calling for their immediate release and calling for everyone who can to mobilize to their governments and other ways to demand their immediate release. And of course to demand not only humanitarian aid being let into Gaza, but also a ceasefire, but most importantly, an end to the occupation and an end to the systemic oppression and violence that Palestinians are facing on an everyday basis.
Are you disappointed?
Okay, so that's what kind of kicked this off. And then you'll see now that Tunisia has started a land convoy headed to Gaza to try to break the blockade. So the fight didn't end, guys. They may have, stopped that boat. They kidnapped the people. That happened, but that just means someone else has now picked up the mantle. Let's freaking go.
Hundreds of volunteers left Tunisia on Monday in a land convoy heading towards Gaza, hoping to break Israel's blockade on the territory. The Sumud convoy, which means steadfastness in Arabic, aims to alleviate the suffering of besieged Gaza residents and to show support for the Palestinian cause. Several Tunisian organizations participated in the initiative, including youth groups. Coming here is an initiative from the Nabil Club, and our goal is to gather other running clubs that answered the call, such as Star Club and Zara and others. This is a noble initiative to raise youth awareness and to say that we are conscious youth and that we deliver our message in a noble way. And may God help our brothers in Gaza. The convoy left Tunis with doctors, lawyers, activists and journalists aboard, all have in mind the fate of the Madeleine boat, which was intercepted by Israel on Monday morning while trying to bring aid to Gaza.
So do you guys hear that? They have journalists and activists on board. And again, like, the inspiration comes from the Madeleine boat that Greta was on. So that inspired them. To go out and say, hey, we're going to go try to help them too. So this is what is it called? They lit the match. And now you have other people that are joining the cause, guys. This is good news.
This convoy of steadfastness, like that ship, is a message of challenge and will, and this is what the extremist right-wing government of Israel fears. Israel is facing mounting international pressure to let more aid into Gaza. The convoy of steadfastness plans to go through Libya and Egypt to reach the Rafah border crossing, but Egyptian authorities have yet to authorize the group's entry into their territory.
Let's go, fam! Let's go, fam! And I have a send-off video here where they let's go to this part first, because we're tracking the bus. You know, we've been tracking this stuff. Gaza-bound activist convoy enters Libya from Tunisia. So we can see 13 hours ago, it said here that they entered Libya. And it says here that hundreds of pro-Palestinian activists taking part in a convoy crossed the Tunisian border on Tuesday into Libya, aiming to keep heading eastward until they break Israel's blockade on the Palestinian territory. So yeah, man. So we're going to keep an eye on it. And then we have the bus here. So Solomon shared this. A Tunisian bus departed for Cairo to participate in the global march to break the siege on the Gaza Strip. Yeah! Hey! That's what I'm talking about, fam. We have another one here for you. A little bit closer. Yeah. Woo! Yeah! I think we may have to drop the beat, guys. Are we going to drop the beat for Tunisia? We're going to drop the beat. Let's go, fam. Let's go. Hey. Dance with me. Dance with me. This is good news. I'm so excited. I'm pumped for them, guys. And we'll continue to follow their bus. We got to keep track of it, just like we did with the Freedom Flotilla, right? We got to track them, guys. They'll be entering in through Egypt, trying to get through the Rafah border. Let's freaking go. All right. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.